Oh boy, somebody's going to hate me for this, one team or the other. But here we go. First, let's start with the strengths of the Evolution engine. First thing I'd say about the Evolution engine is it's very reliable. It's a very reliable design and it's very simple. I mean, comparatively speaking. And it's really durable. I mean, as long as you do the basic maintenance and take care of the thing, an Evo motor will run a pretty long time. And the first period of any problem with an Evo motor is tens of thousands of miles into it and normally just requires a top end. You can do a top end job and the bottom end will still be fine. And if it does come time to do some work on the motor, well, it's a lot simpler than the twin cam. Also going for the Evolution motor is the iconic design. It's still got the cone on the bottom. It looks like a traditional Harley Davidson motor and it's compact in size, certainly more compact than the twin cam. But there may be a choice to be made here. Let's discuss the twin cam. The twin cam offers more horsepower and more torque right out of the box, and more displacement sizes, all the way from 88 cubic inches, one of the early twin cams, up to the 110 cubic inch twin cam. Now, I believe they're still making frames for either the counterbalanced or the rubber mounted twin cam motors, either the B, which came in soft tails, or the solid mounted. But you want to consider that motor and what type it is if you're going to try and put it in a rigid frame and make sure you've got a frame for the right model of twin cam motor, or you're biting off more than you want to chew. But the twin cam, especially the counterbalance motor, will have a lot less vibration than the Evo motor will. Well, the rubber mounted is going to have a lot less vibration than the Evo is too, to be honest. So I wouldn't be lying if I said that the twin cam motor is going to have less vibration, generally speaking, than the Evolution motor is. And the twin cam is more modern. I mean, let's face it, it's got better emissions controls if you're concerned about that stuff, if you need to pass a test in your area. And it's also creates more power. It's got higher compression. It's a more modern motor. Another would be performance parts. For the twin cam, there seems to be a lot more available. There used to be a lot more available for the Evo than there seems to be today. I mean, you can still find parts for the Evo, but it's a lot easier to come across stuff for the twin cam if you're looking for performance parts. Now, the weaknesses. Every motor's got weaknesses. For the Evolution motor, it's reliable and it's simple, but it's not real powerful. I mean, we're talking stock motors here because you got to compare stock to stock, right? So it's less efficient. You're going to get worse mileage, and it's not going to put out the power and the torque of the twin cam. I already mentioned the negative vibration of the Evo as a positive for the twin cam, so I won't say that. The other thing is, the Evo, I guess you could say, struggles to remain reliable with substantial performance upgrades. Now, some of the weaknesses off the top of my head for the twin cam motor. It's more complex. From the factory, it's got a chain drive cam setup, and the early motors especially had trouble with the cam tensioners. So that's a problem part. There's some special tools that are required on the twin cam that are not required for working on the Evo. Another disadvantage for the twin cam would be it runs hotter than the Evo motor. Oh, and weight. Some guys don't care about weight. They're into thick. Some guys do care about weight. The twin cam setup is definitely heavier than the Evolution motor. So there you have the pros and the cons of the Evolution and the twin cam motors from Boom Boom's perspective. Overall, I guess I would say that the better motor would depend on what you value overall. The Evolution motor is going to be simpler, it's going to be easier to work on, it's going to be easier to maintain, and it's going to maintain that iconic Harley Davidson look. And the twin cam is going to give you higher power and more availability of parts to make that higher power if that's what you want to do, and make it reliably. If you want a low maintenance, simple, iconic looking motor, you want the Evolution motor. If you want a smoother, more powerful motor, I think the twin cam edges ahead there, especially if you replace that chain drive cam setup with gears. That's the first mod I ever did on twin cam motors. Yeah, you can take that and $17.50 and get yourself a cup of coffee. Yeah. As for me, if I was home brewing a chopper, I'd use the Evolution motor from the very beginning of the build to the very last drop of it. Yeah, that's it. Just the right combination of simplicity and iconic Harley look with a hint of old school after flavor.